All right. Good evening, fellow rugby lovers, to the Aftermath live stream where I want to preview the Stormers versus Bulls game that's taking part tomorrow evening at the Cape Town Stadium. It's a game that is building up to be a humdinger. It's a game that both teams are putting all the eggs in one basket. So I want to thank you guys for joining me in this live stream. It's a great privilege to be able to do this at this time of the year. How things has changed. Who would have thought that South Africans would be watching rugby deep in December, a few days from Christmas? But here we are waiting for the local derby, North versus South, Stormers versus Blue Bulls, to be played in the heart of December. And me being here doing a live stream at this time of the year. So, a lot has been said about this game during the last couple of weeks. We had Jake White talking a lot, resting his best players when they played against Lyon and against the Chiefs. The Stormers, they basically fielded a strong team where possible in the last two games. But the Bulls, they are targeting this game. So in this live stream, I just want to look at the score, the team sheets of both teams, and also then later give my prediction and how I am predicting how this game will turn out to be. So without any delays, I think let's go into the teams that was selected. Let's first start with the Stormers. So with the Stormers, just make this thing a little bit bigger here. So with the Stormers, we've got the captain, Steven Kitshoff, who's arguably the best um, prop in the world, starting Joseph Dweba. I still feel that JJ Kotze is better than Dweba, but Dweba, he came in as a high level signing to the Stormers when the Stormers had all the injuries to Skaram, to Benny, and all those guys. But Joseph Dweba is throwing into the lineouts are a bit suspect. His scrummaging is okay, but Dweba is starting. Then we've got Frans Malherbe at number 3, who's also starting. Frans Malherbe is a legend. He is a legend. The guy, the amount of work he puts in the game is just phenomenal. Frans Malherbe starting. Then on lock, we've got Ben Jason Dixon, who comes in the place of the injured Salman Murat. It seems as if Salman Murat's going to be out for quite some time. But yeah, we've got the Stormers testing the depth with introduction of Ben Jason Dixon. Then the co-captain Marvin Ori is also coming in at lock. Marvin Ori has developed into a very useful player. In the beginning, when he came on the scene at the Lions, he was average, your usual lock, very, what would say in Afrikaans, tingerig. He didn't have that oomph and that muscle and that aggression. But with maturity and the older Marvin Ori he has become a better player. And you can see the fact that he's been called up for the Springboks a few times within the last season. So Marvin Ori is adding a lot to this team. And also Dion Fourie. Now, guys, Dion Fourie, this guy is one of the best fetchers in the world. He's an excellent player, Dion Fourie, one of the best fetchers. I was at the game last week, Saturday, when the Stormers took on London Irish. And whenever Dion Fourie arrived at a breakdown, the crowd went berserk, and they knew that something will happen as soon as Dion Fourie arrives at the breakdown. The guys, I think he is the single player that is actually putting the Stormers on a high level. The same what he did last season is what the way he actually approached the games and the amount of penalties he won for the Stormers, the amount of ball he got the Stormers. So Dion Fourie is coming in. All right, I see there's a couple of guys in the chat. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Tension is out of the gate. Is predicting the Bulls to win by 20. Okay, Bulls by 20. All right. So guys, if you're on the live stream, feel free to chat, interact with me. I will interact with you. I will bring up your comment on the live stream. I love the interaction. I talking alone, so get your fingers moving and type your comment, or question, or any contribution you want to give to this live stream. We are just being chilled tonight. There is nothing formal, nothing hectic. So we free flow tonight. So feel free to comment and to give your opinion. Okay, so Dion Fourie, he's coming in at number 6. The number 7, Willie Engelbrecht. Willie Engelbrecht, he is also a player that's coming in very nicely. Willie Engelbrecht, for those who don't know Willie Engelbrecht, he is the captain he was the captain of the Pumas in the Currie Cup, who won the Currie Cup last season. Willie Engelbrecht is also a very good player. He scored a very good try this past weekend against London Irish. A player that actually fits the mold of the Stormers and also the Springboks. So don't be surprised in the near future when you will see Willie Engelbrecht in the green and gold. All right. Another comment here from Tension. The Bulls backline is deadly. Yes, Tension. We're gonna come to the Bulls team. So don't go away. We can discuss the Bulls team. Like I said, this game between the Bulls and the Lions is a clash amongst Titans. So yeah, we'll come to the Bulls. Then Achieva Diamani. Oh, guys, Achieva Diamani. He's coming in at number 8 with Evan Roos still being on the sidelines. Yeah, Achieva Diamani is coming in 8. With the exclusion of Evan Roos and the introduction of Diamani at number 8, I feel that the Stormers, they are missing nothing. Achieva Diamani is phenomenal. He's a very good player. The guy is fast. He's got ball skills. I don't know if you guys saw the try he scored. The try he assisted this past weekend. The one, I think it's the one that no, it was the disallowed try, where he was tackled, but in the tackle he passed the ball to the player to his left. And also the try that he scored, the guy's pace, apparently he is where he was in school, 100-meter sprinter. And the guy's coming in at number 8, Achieva Diamani. Excellent player. Someone also to look out for in the near future who might be wearing the green and gold. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him the opportunity down the line, maybe after the World Cup, when a rebuilding phase will be coming in after the World Cup. It depends if the current coaches are still going to be in the setup, Zak Ninaba and Rassi Erasmus. But the guy like Achieva Diamani, for the next World Cup cycle, he will definitely be involved. Then Paul Tavet. Paul Tavet is also another excellent player. We see that Soljankis is not in the squad for this game. He is injured because Godlin Masimbla, he is on the subs bench, but starting is Paul Tavet. I think for the past season and even in this season, I feel that there's not much between Paul Tavet and Soljankis. I tend to lean more towards Paul Tavet. I think Paul Tavet is a guy that's got pace. If he must break through a gap or just break through something, I believe the guy has the ability to actually to kill teams with his pace. And his passing is crisp. His passing is very fast off the rack. Paul Tavet, yeah, no qualms there. Excellent player. Manny Libok. So if you go to Clifton Stadium and you watch a Stormers game, and Manny Libok, he does something, he's about to kick the ball or do something, the DJ at the stadium, they play that song, Money, 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 Money. That's the song that's being played for Manny Libok. So Manny Libok, He's starting at number 10. Like Kerwin Bosch, Mandelibok, he has developed and matured into one of the best fly-offs in the country. I have to mention Kerwin Bosch, guys. I don't know if you guys has watched the last couple of games of the Sharks. I think the last 2 games of the Sharks. Not to mention the Sharks in a Stormers Blue Bulls review, but I just feel I need to just mention Kerwin Bosch. The guy has developed into a serious player, into a serious baller. So in the same vein, Manny Libok, he has also developed into a very good player. Then number 11, Leolan Zas is number 11, the top try scorer in the last campaign of the URC. Zas is a very strong, dynamic runner, very good finisher. So it will be interesting to see what Zas will be doing against his counterpart against the Blue Bulls. I think he'll be matching up against Cornel Hendricks. So Zas comes in. Then Dan du Plessis. Dan du Plessis is a player that has been injured. He's been in the squad and then he's out of the squad due to injury. A player that can seek a gap through very narrow spaces. He's a guy that can put a camel through the eye of a needle. That is Dan du Plessis. I would like to see what he will be offering this weekend or tomorrow evening at the game. If he can come good for the Stormers tomorrow evening, then I think that the Stormers might have a chance. But Dan du Plessis is coming in at number 12. Then Suleiman Natzenberg. Like I said, I was at the game last Saturday and I had the pleasure after the match to actually meet Suleiman Natzenberg. He's a player of the future. In the same vein as Achieve Diamani, Natzenberg will, in the next World Cup cycle, definitely get his green and gold first cap or first test match for the Springboks. A player that is still very young. I think he's like 19 years old, 20 years old. He finished school last year from Bishops, and he is a dynamic player. He's one of the best young players in the world currently. So he's the number 13. So to me, the Stormers in the midfield at 12 and 13, I feel that is where the weaknesses can be for the Stormers. I think that's a place where Jake White will definitely try to exploit the Stormers, will be at the 12 and 13 channel, coming up against Dan du Plessis, who's been in and out of the squad, of the team. A player who hasn't actually maybe settled in the position. Then a youngster at number 13 in Suleiman Natzenberg. The Bulls, they're going to target that channel whole evening, tomorrow evening. So guys, you heard it first on Peter Rugby Eater. So that's the only weakness that I see in the Stormers team is that 12-13 channel. That might be an issue. Then at number 14, Angelo Davids. Angelo Davids, another dynamic player, another dynamic finisher. Angelo Davids, I feel like a Kurtley Arendse. Angelo Davids, he also has a very deadly step. However, the fact in the past he managed to run over players, and every time when he gets the ball, he thinks he can do it again the whole time to run over players. I would like to see him maybe if it's on his wing and he has a defender in front of him, maybe how can I say come to the inside and beat the player on the outside. You should do that. You should bring in a step instead of running over or trying to run over players. The past weekend and also the previous games, whenever he had a one-on-one with the defender, he always tried to run over the defender. And I think that's one of the areas that Angelo Davids needs to work on. But otherwise, if he has a gap or if he has free rein to run, he is very dangerous. And then my favorite player, Damon Willemse, is coming in at number 15 at fullback. And we see that Clayton Blommetjies is on the reserves. So John Dobson is trying something out here. But like I said, with the introduction of Dan du Plessis at 12, with Hatzenberg, The conventional thought would have been maybe to have Damon Willemse coming in at 12 to be partnered with an inexperienced Matzenberg, then bring Blommetjies on at fullback. But yeah, we've got Willemse at fullback, and yeah, like I previously said, our center pairing might get exposed due to inexperience or due to being a little bit lig in the broek, like they would say in Afrikaans. So that's the Stormers starting 15. Then the displacements, these are the usual guys. Kotze, like I said, Kotze, I prefer Kotze over Dweba. Ali van Mark is a very dodgy scrammer. Whenever Ali van Mark comes in for the Stormers as a prop, he always tends to give off penalties. So that's also a weakness there with Ali van Mark coming in. It all depends how long Frans Malherbe or Kitsov will be on the field, because we also have Netland Fushia that's also in there. And Connor Evans as 19, Junior Pokomela. We've got Marcel Tennyson, Godlin Masambla, and Clayton Blommetjies. So the Stormers are going for a 6-2 split in this game, hoping to outlast the Bulls in the tight phases. So yeah, this is the Stormers team that we have. Let's go to the comments. The chat. Ooh, some Slayer, Stormers 18, Bulls 31. Yeah, okay. I see the Bulls are being favored this evening to win this game against the Stormers. Yeah, I should nothing wrong with that prediction. The Bulls are very strong. We'll come to the Bulls lineup now, or to the Bulls team sheet now. But like I said, some and all the other viewers, is that this game is a clash amongst Titans. Stormers versus Bulls, clash amongst Titans. All right. I must also say, let me just bring up here before I jump onto the Bulls. Just share something here quickly. Just give me a second. Let's bring up the screen here. Okay, so as we heard this whole week in the build-up to this game, Jake White, he basically fielded a second-string team against Lyon, where the Bulls won 42-36, and it also fielded a second-string team against the Chiefs, the Exeter Chiefs, where they played away in the UK, but they lost 44-14. So the headline here says here, will White's high-stakes gamble pay off against Stormers? So here we see that Jake White, he is basically putting all his eggs in one basket. Putting all his eggs in one basket. But the question is, will it pay off? Yeah, it might pay off. But let's jump into the Bulls team to see what we get. But before I do that, let's go quickly to the comments. Some Slayer, I'm a Bulls fan. We need that second spot. Yeah, it's very tight. It's very tight. I think that everyone wants to win the conference. Then we've got Kuan here. Why did they sign Dweba? There's nothing outstanding about him at all. Yeah, Kuan, like I said in my when I went again through the team sheet, and when I got to Dweba, I prefer Kotze above Dweba. Just so Dweba, his line throws are very dodgy. I think his ratio to throwing in straight and skew is probably 60% straight, 40% skew. And as a hooker, you need to be 90% plus. You can't allow that. So yeah, they signed Weber because he was available, because he was always a Springbok prospect, and also the fact that the Stormers needed an established hooker as soon as possible, because they had a lot of injuries during that time. I think when they signed Dweba, Scaran Dubeni got injured, and also Andre Venter Jr., the Venter boy. He also wasn't 100% fit. Tension says, what do you think of Jake White splitting the sides? Yes, Tension, like I said earlier, is that Jake White is working on the long game. It's a very long season. Remember, this season only ends at the end of May. So there's still a solid, I would say, 5.5 months of the season. And you are contending in two tough competitions, being the URC and the Championship Cup. So I think White is building a squad, and it's good on him. And I think every team in this competition, if you're a top team to compete with Leinster and Ulster and those teams, you need to build squad depth. You can't be fielding your first 15 week in and week out. It will not happen. So yeah, so White is building squad depth, and yeah, let's take one more. Scarlett Dubeni, when is he back? Very good question, Sam. I actually don't know when Scarlett is back, but I think, yeah, let me just check quickly. Maybe I can give you an answer while I'm still here. Scara. Let's do, guys. There's a chilled live stream tonight. Okay, let's see quickly. Okay, yeah. So I was hoping to get something on the fly now, but I actually don't see anything on the fly. But it's a very good question. I will need to find that out by when you will be returning. Tension Global is the yes, Tension. I'm getting there. I know you were a very dedicated Bulls fan. You sound as if you are a very huge Bulls fan. I'm gonna get to the Bulls right now. But guys, keep the comments coming and the questions and the comments. So let's jump on to the Bulls team. Let's jump to the Bulls team. Just make this a bit bigger here. Okay, let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, oops, just add this chat. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so the Bulls team. Okay, on this one, I see they're starting from 15, but I will start from the bottom, from number 1 to 15. So the Bulls, number 1, Gerard Steenkamp. So yeah, so any Bulls tight 5 is a very strong tight 5. However, I must say, in the last 2 games, or the last 3 games, where the Stormers and Bulls played each other, the Stormers, they actually dominated the Bulls up front. They dominate the Bulls in the set pieces, because for the Stormers, you've got Springboks there in the form of Kitsoff, Malherbe. But Gerard Steenkamp, he is solid. Number 2, Johan Globelaar. Okay, so Globelaar, like Tension said here, he says here that Globelaar is the 3rd best hooker in SA. Okay, so I am a huge fan of Johan Globelaar. When I saw him play against was it Leicester last season, when they won Leicester in Dublin, I immediately saw there that a star is born. The guy is phenomenal. He is extremely good, and I do not disagree with you with your comment to say that he is probably in the top 3 or the 3rd best hooker in the country. I have no qualms with that. He is an excellent player, and the Bulls, they actually have a gem in Globelaar. Mone Smith, like Steenkamp and Mone Smith, these guys, they are all capable. Obviously, many of non-Blue Bulls supporters won't know much about these players, like your Steenkamp and your Mone Smith. But these guys, they are capable, they are solid, and they basically embody typical Blue Bulls forward prop. They embody that. So, like I said, is that they will have a huge mountain to climb against Malherbe and Kitshoff. Ruan Vermaak is also a player that many people that are not Bull supporters won't be too familiar with. But Vermaak is also a solid player. He's also a player that's up and coming. And like Ryan Nokia, it's a guy that they are there for the future. Um, and they might also then be in contention in the next World Cup cycle to wear your green and gold. If guys like Itzebit and Peter Seftertoit, Mostert, if those guys are not maybe taking a backseat after the next World Cup cycle. So Rian Nokia is captain. The guy is also very solid. He also obtained the Springbok cap in this last international season. Very good player. Then at number 6, Eskom, Marco van Staden, a very abrasive player, a very physical player. And van Staden, he will come up against Wally Engelbrecht from the Stormers. And this will be a clash of two giants that's going to play against each other in these guys. But van Staden, he comes in with experience. He comes in with know-how. And he comes in, like I said, with a very physical and aggression into this Bulls team, and also to take on what the Stormers will be offering in the loose. Then Kyle Brunk. Yeah, to be honest, Kyle Brunk, I don't know much about Kyle Brunk. What I've seen of him is that he seems to be also a player that has potential. But Kyle Brunk, he will be up against, and also he will be scrumming opposite Dion Fourie and Kyle Brunk and Van Staden, Elliot Gelou. That back three, loose trio, they're going to have their work cut out at the breakdown. So you've got 3 players that are a little bit similar. Whereas with the Stormers, you have a player in Dion Fourie who plays to the ball, and thing might be interesting there. But you've got Kyle Brunk, Elrich Low as well. These are guys that like to take up the ball in hand. These are guys that I don't see being able to pinch lots of balls from the breakdown. And these are guys that I don't think will be fast enough at the breakdown when you compare them with a Dion Fourie. However, it seems to me that Jake White he'll be coming in with a certain game plan to basically mitigate the risk or the threat of a Dion Fourie. Ambrose Papier. Okay, so Ambrose Papier, when he came on the scene, he was identified and brought on as a genius player. When he was in school, he was one of the guys that basically his future was laid out for him, basically, as I can say. He was like a Willemse, a Damon Willemse. He was earmarked to be a Springbok great. However, with Emmers Papier, for some reason, he hasn't fulfilled his potential to the max. And I hope, in the same vein how a Manly Book or a Kerwin Bosch has evolved, I hope that a player like Emmers Papier also evolve and becomes better with age and with maturity. So Emmers Papier, he's starting at number 9 for the Blue Bulls. And then we have Johan Goosen. So Johan Goosen, yeah, this guy is special. I was never a fan of Johan Goosen previously, but I've seen his potential, and he is a special player. And the last game I saw him play, I think it was in the URC. He conjured up some magic. So the Stormers, they need to look out and watch out for Jan Goosen. If he's going to spot a gap or opportunity to take the ball flat and to run at Manelibok or at Dan du Plessis, then the Stormers, they're going to have their hands full the whole evening. Sian Goosen is an excellent player. Before I go to number 11 to the back line, let me just look at the chat to see what the guys are saying here. Just give me a second. Okay, the chats are coming in thick and fast. Okay, yes. So Kyle, yes sir. Welcome to the chat, Kyle. Welcome. I know you're a very huge Blue Bull supporter. Yeah, and I agree with Kyle. He's a Globalaar. He should be a Springbok. 100% I agree. He's an excellent player. Some Slayer says, yeah, I'm worried about Emers Papier, but it's not like us Bulls got world-class clam-offs. Yeah, like I said, he's an Emers Papier. He has all the potential in the world. The guy, like I said, he's like the future was set out for him. He was earmarked to come to the Bulls, be like a Fourie, Dupree, and to be a Springbok legend, but he hasn't fulfilled his full potential. Then Kyle is saying, yeah, I think the Bulls will win by 20. Yeah, so I think that is the theme of the evening. So for everybody who's given this score, predicted the Bulls to win the Stormers by 20 points. That guy is not big enough, says Jake White. Okay, toen about Globalaar. Oops, let's cancel that. David Kriel, yep. David Kriel not in the squad. Okay, so everybody's on Kyle's case. Kyle, you might defend yourself here, boy. Okay, I saw a comment also coming in talking about Kyle Brunk. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so Kyle is saying here that Kyle Brunk is a fetcher and Eskom is a true opposite flanker. Okay, yeah, like I said, I don't know much about Kyle Brunk, but obviously if it's a fetcher, then he will definitely compete with John Fourie at the loose. Some Slayer saying here, Jake White, Samalani is undercooked and is playing at 15. Okay, yes, I think Samalani, let me check in the squad here. Samalani is actually not in the squad, some. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Tension, Brunk is a unit. It to it up. Okay, so we came from Leicester. All right. So that's the chats that came through. Okay, so let's go into the back line. So someone previously said earlier in the live stream that the Bulls will win because they have the more dangerous backline. So let's see what this dangerous backline is made up of. So at number 11, we've got Keenan Moody. So we all know Keenan Moody is a superstar. The guy's a Springbok. When the guy came on for the Springboks during the international season that's passed, he is star shone basically, and we also that Keenan Moody has greatness inside of him. But the dude, he hasn't played that much recently for his team. But they say that form is temporary, but class is permanent. So Keenan Moody, as a Springbok supporter myself, I would like to see Keenan Moody come through. However, not to be biased here, I am a Storm supporter as well. But I would like to see our young players come through. Yeah, but anyway. So Keenan Moody is coming in at 11. At number 12, we've got Harold Foster. And 13, Lionel Mapu. Like I said, is that if there's a weakness in... Guys, sorry for the background noises. Apologies. If there's a weakness in the Stormers squad, it will be in the midfield of the Stormers, where they have Dan du Plessis and Suleiman Hatzenberg in as centers. So I would think that Jake White would have worked out a game plan with Foster and Mapu to attack the Stormers center pairing whole night, to attack them without stopping. So if Foster and Mapu comes through, they might cause damage to the Stormers team. I'm sorry, guys, just give me a second. Apologies. Yeah. So then we might have the Stormers in big trouble if Moody and Foster comes through for the Bulls. Sorry, Foster and Mapu comes through for the Bulls. Then at number 14 we have the veteran player, one of the players that I am also fond of, in Cornel Hendricks. However, I must feel that a guy like Stravino Jacobs, the last two games that Stravino Jacobs played for the Bulls against Leon, sorry, was it Leon? Leon? Leon, yes, Leon. And against the Chiefs from England, the guy, he was like a Jonah Lomo. He ran through the French and English defenders with ease. So it's very interesting to me that Jake White is starting with Cornel Hendricks, whereas I feel that Stravino Jacobs is the form player. He should have started for the Bulls in this game. However, with Cornel Hendricks, you have experience, you have know-how. However, you have a winger that lacks space, and you have a winger that might be lacking a little bit of physical edge. And he will be coming up against Zas, who is physical himself and also very fast with ball in hand. So Cornel Hendricks is at 14, and at 15 we have our new Springbok superstar in Kurtley Arendse at 15. So the question is, will Kurtley Arendse do the magic for the Bulls? What is done for the Springboks now recently? That is the question. Will the Storms be able to contain Kurtley Arendse? But it always to be seen. Kurtley Arendse, he's an excellent player. He's a dangerous player. However, if the Bulls are going to play a game where they're going to kick the ball to the Stormers whole night, they're going to make a huge mistake. What the Stormers team has developed into is a team that loves it when teams kick against them, because instead of kicking back, they will run at you whole night. So I would like to see Arendse with ball, Kurtley Arendse with ball in hand. I would like to see him, instead of kicking the ball away, to actually take the ball up and to run with the ball, and to attack the Stormers defense. So that's the Bulls team. Let's quickly look at the subs bench. So what stands out here, we've got Bismarck du Plessis, Springbok veteran, Springbok legend, coming in as the substitute hooker at 16. We've also got Nizam Kah bringing in some experience. Nizam Kah also coming in against his previous team in the Stormers. Zach Burger is also a very good player. Zach Burger is a player that also very nippy around the racks with his passes. Chris Smith comes in, reliable fly off, kicking wise. So if the Bulls are in the lead, so from the 50th minute, then the lead, I foresee that Jake White will bring on Chris Smith to close out the game. That's not if the Bulls are in the lead. And at number 23, we've got Stravino Jacobs. Like I previously said, I would have loved to see Stravino Jacobs start in place of Cornel Hendricks. So that's the Bull squad. Let's go to the chat. Let's see what the guys are saying in the chat. Okay, Ruben. Okay, I don't think Bulls will win. Okay, they're still on Kyle's case. Let's see. All right. Okay, Cal saying I think Similani should be at 13. Yeah, Similani is also a very good player. Let's go down here. Okay, Eskom is great at the breakdown, and also Globalaar's great feature. Yeah, I think these days a professional player, any player from 1 to 13 must have the ability to compete for a ball at the breakdown. I think that's a given these days. You see it now. The top teams, they have the ability for any player to compete at the breakdown. All right, let's see. Let's take one from Cal. Okay, Brunk was very good for us last year. He's a top player, very strong and abrasive, and very skillful. Yes, so I am actually looking forward to seeing what he can do against the Stormers tomorrow. Let's see what he can do. But for me, it's amazing to see the talent that's coming through in SA Rugby. It's very warm-hearting to see it come through. South Africa with New Zealand are two nations that has a huge amount of rugby talent, and yeah, the future's bright. So guys, we've come to my prediction for this game. So my prediction for this game is going to be a very tough game. Just open this up here. So it's going to be a very tough game. Like I previously said, it's a clash amongst Titans, Stormers versus Bulls. These two teams played each other thrice in last season in the URC, where the Stormers won all three of those games. And the most important game the Stormers won was the URC final at Cape Town Stadium last season, when the Stormers were crowned the inaugural URC champions. So Jake White is out on a mission to actually end his hoodoo, because John Dobson, he owns Jake White. So yeah, I think the Bulls, they will be coming out all guns blazing. All guns blazing, and it'll be very interesting to see. I'm gonna have the privilege to be at the stadium tomorrow evening to witness this match. I will probably do a live stream before the game. But my prediction for this game is the following. So I know there's lots of Blue Bull supporters here in the chat, in the watching here, but I feel that the Stormers will win this game by 3 points. Stormers to win the Bulls by 3 points. I know many of you guys said that the Bulls will win by 20 points, but I feel that the Stormers will win by 3 points. So guys, thank you very much for joining this live stream. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Please like this video, help me out by liking this video. And also maybe, if you can, share this video. And I'll catch you guys on my next video. So thanks guys, enjoy the festive season, be safe, and enjoy the weekend's rugby. Good night.